Marimba, the mother of music. Kwesukela. When I say kwesukela, you are going to say Kosi kwesukela.
Kosi.
Nazoke. There was once a time in the universe when there were no musical instruments. It was just the sound of the birds, the trees, the wind, the river, ocean, waterfall, just to mention a few from the natural kingdom. Marimba was the queen of the Vubukata people during that time. She was beautiful and majestic. She would bath in camel milk on a daily basis. Her people loved and worshipped the ground that she walked on. They treated her with so much love and respect. And she loved her people in return, and she was a skillful cook. She would cook a feast for her village, and the villagers would flock into her homestead to feast on her delicious meals. One day, while she was preparing one of her favorite meals, she accidentally burned her big favorite pot. Yeah, anyway, she cried out. Her favorite pot was damaged with a hole underneath. What am I gonna do? She took it and she started scrubbing it clean and she put it on top of the table. She looked at it and she was like, no man, I can't let my pot go to waste. What can I do with it? An idea was brewing into her mind and she quickly called for her servant. Mnangantla quickly came running and said, you called for me, Your Majesty. Ehene, can you quickly go wash the skin of the kudu that we had slaughtered for a feast yesterday and put it on the sun to dry? The servant quickly ran and he did as he was told. Meanwhile, Marimba took her wooden bowl and her wooden spoon, and then she took the lavender herb with cinnamon spice. She mixed them together. She also took frankincense oil and she added to the mixture and started crushing it. When she was done, she took it and she started smearing it on top of the kudu spoon which was on the sun. She left it to dry. She then took ropes and she started cutting them into pieces. She cut them into pieces, and you know what she did? She took the big pot which was damaged and she took the kudu skin and started wrapping it on the mouth of the pot. She took the ropes and started tying them tight around the mouth of the pot, and she tested with her fingers and the sound came out. She started playing the instrument and she loved the sound. She started singing as well, moving to the rhythm. Usisikeleli Africa, maluphakanyisu pundulayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Kosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo. While she was playing, the sound of the instrument traveled into the village. The villagers heard this foreign sound and they asked themselves, what was it? They started following the sound and it led them straight to the royal homestead of Queen Marimba. They saw her playing the instrument and singing. They started to join her. They were chanting, they were singing, they were in a trance. Osikelela thina lusapho lwayo. They were singing the whole night, but Goddess Marimba saw that this was not going to stop and she stopped the drum and she said, my people, I am going to name this one Ugubu, the drum. Everybody started shouting and illuminating, clapping hands. Elethu Ndlovukazi. As from that day, Queen Marimba was inspired to make more instruments. One day, while she was walking in her royal homestead, she went to the jacaranda tree in her front yard and started looking at it. And she thought, "Ay man, there's something I can actually do with the branch of this tree. Ngayenzani kodwa?" She looked at it and she called for her servant. Nonqanqa. Nonqanqa quickly came running and said, "You called for me, my queen. Can you please cut the branch of this tree for me, peel it and bend it while it's still wet into a bow shape?" The servant did as he was instructed. Goddess Marimba took the bow and she took a string, she fastened it from end to end. She then took a calabash, she started scooping it and taking out all its contents, and she attached it to the bow. She then started playing with a little step, placing the instrument on her left breast. Hey, wow, this sounds great, she said to herself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sandra Same. Wow, I love this one. This one, it's actually the one that's closest to my heart, she said. The villagers were so happy when they had the instrument. And she said, "I am going to name this one Umakweyana. I'm going to play it when I tell stories and when I'm singing lullabies." The villagers started clapping their hands and ululating and said, "Hele Ndlovukazi siyavuma." Marimba loved taking morning walks around the forest. One day, while she was taking one of her morning walks, she came across a huge pine tree that has fallen. Oh no, the wind yesterday damaged this tree. Yarr, I cannot let it go waste into the fire. What can I do? Okay, I think there's a beautiful instrument that I can make from this pine tree. She called for her servant. Nonqanqa. Nonqanqa came running and said, "Yebo, your majesty, you called for me. Can you quickly chop this pine tree into small wooden pieces and take it to my homestead?" The servant did as he was told. You know what did the queen do? She took the pieces of the wood and started putting them together. She put them together and she took a nail and a hammer and started to put them together using the nails. She loved how it looked and she was like, this one, even before I play it, it's my favorite for real now. And I'm going to name it after myself. This is a marimba. She started playing her marimba. Hey. Oh. Ha. Hey. Ha. Yo. Ha. Ha. Hey. 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 Yeah. The people loved the marimba. People were dancing. People were singing. Yeah. It was a beautiful sight to see. Marimba kept on inventing musical instruments. Every day in the evening, people would go to the royal homestead to go and play instruments, to go chant and to sing songs around the fire while feasting on the delicious meals which Queen Marimba had prepared. As from that time, the people started playing the instruments during rituals, when a child was born, when it was plant and harvest time, wedding ceremonies. It was just musical. African cultures adopted all the indigenous instruments, and they called marimba the mother of music. Kosi kosi, yaphi.